2022 is the year of weird miracles. Sonic released a good game and Pokemon released shit. So I have a bit of the flu right now, so if I sound a bit off, that's what it is. Even though I have the flu and barely have a voice, when I heard Pokemon shit its pants in front of everybody, I couldn't help myself but come back early. So I have another video pre-recorded that I'm gonna upload probably after this, but shitting on Pokemon is something I've wanted to do because they've been mediocre for a while, and now I have the perfect opportunity to. So me and Luminous are ready to rip a new one into Pokemon.
Yep. And as a huge Pokemon fan, as someone who's been into Pokemon since I was very young, and I've seen the decline, and have been wanting Pokemon to do better since Gen 6, yeah, X and Y. I'm fucking appalled that it could get this bad. It's just honestly disgraceful. Like, come on.
So when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out, I actually bought it. I know it seems weird because I never really talk about Pokemon. I'm not really into Pokemon too much, but I bought it, gave it a chance. Honestly didn't like the game. I thought that it wasn't as open world as they made it sound. I thought it was actually very closed off. I thought it was very hand-holdy. It made me do a 2-hour tutorial practically. I didn't like that you could encounter Pokemon in the wild that you couldn't immediately catch till you got to a certain level. That was pretty lame. And going through all that, it made me realize, why the fuck am I playing this? I got like a couple Pokemon I wanted, beat like one of the fucking gyms or whatever you want to call it, and then I'm like, this game sucks. I don't like it. And then I quit it. And I saw, while people praised it, I saw the people who dared to point out its flaws get called haters. I saw the boring, bland DLCs come out, and then I saw 2 more Pokemon games come out immediately after that, one right after another. And the whole time, while all these Pokemon games was coming out, I was thinking, wow, these are equally mediocre, and it seems like that they're not putting in the care and effort they need to. And for as much as people are letting them get away with, they're going to keep pushing the boundaries, seeing how much they can rush, seeing how much they can release in an unfinished state before it just goes over the boiling point. And that's where we're at. We're over the boiling point, boys. Footage has released today of the new Pokemon game, and it's a glitchy fucking mess. This is after the day 1 patch. This game is fucking atrocious.
Yeah, it's just, there's, like, I did not buy Sword and Shield because I did not want to support Pokemon's practices because I thought that it looked like dog shit before it was even released, and I was right from everything I saw afterwards when I was watching people play. But I had issues with X and Y, and I think it was as bad as it was because of the backlash they got from 5th Gen. But I was willing to stick with them for Gen 7, and I thought Gen 7 was alright. Definitely better than the last one, but still had its issues. But Gen 8, Sword and Shield, just really terrible. But I figured they just moved over to the Switch. They're working on new hardware and stuff. Surely it would get better. And it's somehow gotten a lot worse. I don't understand how it could be as bad as it is. The world is constantly clipping in and out. People are disappearing and reappearing. Sometimes the fucking textures are just completely gone. Or they're clipping over each other. It looks so bad. And I just want them to stop making Pokemon games for 5 fucking seconds. So they can give it 2 to 3 years. And work hard on a good open world game where it's not going to be a stupid, overly glitchy mess with too many Pokemon that they honestly don't need to keep making, and just make a good, solid game. Because they keep doing these terrible fucking gimmicks that they just bring in and then throw out immediately the next generation. And they keep doing all this shit that is just breaking their game at this point. They need to stop. They need to pump the fucking brakes and cool it for a bit. It's Pokemon.
You know what annoys me about the new Pokemon game?
What?
The thing that annoys me about the new Pokemon game is that a lot of people compare Pokemon to Breath of the Wild because it's an open world game. Everyone's going to compare it to that. I'm going to compare it to Breath of the Wild and to the Gen 1 Pokemon games. When it comes to both Breath of the Wild and Gen 1 Pokemon games, almost every building you see, you can enter. Almost every building you enter either has something for you to see, collect, or someone for you to talk to. And if you enter a shop, there's an actual shop. In this new Pokemon game, made in 2022, you enter the shop and you see a fucking PNG showing you items you can buy. How do we lose features that's in the very first Pokemon game? And it's like, well, I don't need this. It's not that you need it. It's fucking flavor. What's a fucking video game? What's an open world without flavor? Like,
well,
it's so fucking soulless to enter buildings and have a fucking PNG greet me. I want to see the inside of this shop. I want to fucking see the tables. I want to see the cash register. I want to see the fucking manager. I'll be the Karen of this. I want to see this world. You don't fucking automate that shit. When you claim to have an open world, I expect it to be open. I can excuse some glitches. I know Nintendo can patch it, and they're probably going to patch it a shit ton to try to fix all the shit that's wrong with this. But you aren't going to be able to patch that. You aren't going to be able to fix that. You aren't going to be able to cover up all these obvious fucking corners you cut in this game. All the shit that used to come naturally that's now just fucking automated. It's a soulless fucking copy of Pokemon games that came before it, and stands nowhere close to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, well, that's their issue. Like, they had so little time, they rushed it, and there's obvious corners cut like that. Like, it's so soulless, but that's also... It's been an issue since X and Y, because X and Y was soulless. A lot of the fucking games have been soulless. Sword and Shield was soulless. This game, I think, has been the most soulless, and that is just a fucking perfect example. Because you can't go in... Like, all you have is the outdoor wilderness, and the stupid academy. You're fucking back at a goddamn Pokemon school. I swear to God, if they do that again, I'm going to scream. Stop putting people in the Pokemon
full
school.
academy. You can't even explore the full academy. You can only go in the rooms they want you to go into, and they're automated. You automatically go to the rooms you're supposed to go to.
That's so fucking garbage. But, like, with the first Pokemon game as well, like, that game, they were limited with what they could do. They had a very, very small team. And they had a very small amount of time to get everything that they wanted in there before it was out. And it is a glitchy mess. I will not defend that. I love that game, but it is a glitchy mess. That game is still better than the fucking newest game that has come out on the Switch in 2022. Like, that game has a lot more personality and charm and functioning features, even with stuff broken, like psychic types being immune to ghost types and shit, than this fucking game has. You can get stuck riding your stupid cycle Pokemon on a fucking, railing. You can clip through the ground while riding him. There are so many bugs and issues that it's so obvious this game needed another year or two in development before coming out, and it was rushed way too fucking fast. And I'm not really fucking surprised, because they keep crunching their goddamn team, and they keep rushing these fucking games out one after another. They need to stop. They need to chill.
I think if I was going to be generous, I would say that the problem is Pokemon fatigue. Too many games coming out one right after another, big open worlds, big promises, big games. You're releasing them practically yearly. This is unsustainable, and it's a terrible idea. But I'm not being generous today. Instead, what I'm going to say is get fucked. Get fucked, everyone who kept supporting Game Freak when everyone was saying that they were starting to go to shit. Everyone who laughs at Sonic fans or laughs at fucking other fans of games when they fucking complain and bitch and moan, well, now you're in the same fucking position. You didn't complain when you saw shit was wrong with Pokemon. You called everyone haters, and now you got your own fucking Pokemon 06. Fucking enjoy it. Go glitch your way through a fucking mountain somewhere. I've seen that happen. Or watch your Pokeballs deteriorate into nothing.
The thing is, though, like, I was ready to be negative towards Frontiers, Sonic Frontiers, and this new game. But Frontiers, like, really surprised me. It caught me off guard. I think it is a good game, and we'll probably talk about it later. But Pokemon is somehow even lower than I thought it was going to be, because it's somehow worse than their previous game by a lot. And it's a lot worse than what I thought the Sonic game was gonna be, which I didn't think you could be worse than what I had, because my expectations were they were below the floor, basically.
So I guess the final thoughts are fucking 2022 is the year of weird miracles. Sonic released a good game and Pokemon released shit. It's fucking topsy-turvy world. As soon as I get healthy again, we're gonna fucking review the Sonic Frontiers. I have been trying to play through it, but like I said, have the flu. So, yeah, Pokemon, get fucked.